Pay close attention to Arsenal this season, because they really have something of a team of Galacticos right now. It feels like the many injuries they suffered last season taught them some lessons, and they decided to take some real action in this window. And well, right now, the 2025-26 Arsenal squad is insane. And you know what makes them really scary? They have unearthed a new secret weapon ahead of the new season, which can totally change everything for them. Keep watching to find out what Arsenal's secret weapon is. But as always, we'll start from the back. They currently have two top goalkeepers with loads of experience. Raya has been immense for Arsenal for the past couple of seasons, and now there's Kepa who, while he was at Bournemouth last season, showed that he still has what it takes to do it in the Premier League. Also, fans have noticed that one of Raya's biggest weaknesses is penalties, but Kepa is really good at saving penalties. If they ever get into penalty shootouts in a Champions League knockout game, Arteta would probably bring Kepa in to produce some shootout heroics. Now, that's something that might seem small, but can be the difference between winning and missing out on a big trophy. But no matter what goalkeeper is between the sticks, you can be sure that the defense will be giving them great covering. For the past couple seasons, Arsenal have had the best defense in the Premier League, and we expect that to continue. Gabriel and Saliba are arguably the best center-back pairing in the Premier League, and you can definitely trust them to be solid in the new season. Last season, the club unleashed Myles Lewis-Skelly, and the teenager adapted so quickly you'd think he had been a pro for 5 years. Looking at his strength, passing, and ball carrying, MLS really has all it takes to establish himself as the best left back in the Premier League next season. Yes, he's that good. And if Riccardo Calafiori can manage to stay fit, Arteta will have a real headache at left back, because these players offer something very different. If you want to invert your fullback, MLS is the guy. If you want him flying forward and creating chaos in attack, you gotta go with Calafiori. At right back, Jurrien Timber has proven to be really solid. He's good defensively and offensively. He's strong, technical, has a great mentality, and is just an all-round fine footballer. And there's still Ben White, who's always going to be a real threat to opponents. And they still have decent backups in these positions like Jakub Kiwior and Oleksandr Zinchenko, who can be used to manage the minutes of the first-team players. It also helps that most of the fullbacks can also play center-back. White, Timber, and Calafiori can put in good shifts at center-back so Arteta can play around with the lineup. But here's the thing, he might not even have to do that, because Arsenal went and got one of the best young center-backs in La Liga in Christian Mosquera. We're talking about a 21-year-old, 6'3" center-back who has been playing top-flight football for more than 2 years now. He's definitely going to cook at Arsenal, and he will afford Gabriel and Saliba more rest. And Mosquera was not the only top talent Arsenal took from La Liga. Before we talk about the other guy, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Now to the midfield. The club absolutely upgraded in the defensive midfield position by signing Martín Zubimendi. No jokes, that guy is one of the best DMs in Europe right now. If you don't watch La Liga, you probably watched him in the Euros final against England. He came on for Rodrygo and absolutely balled out, making sure that Spain did not miss their best player. Having also said goodbye to Jorginho, the club went and signed Nørgaard from Brentford. Very smart signing. Small transfer fee, small wages, but he brings big experience, more threat in the air, and a great understanding of the league and the culture. With these two defensive midfield signings, Arsenal are really covered in that aspect going into the new season. Then, of course, they already have one of the best central midfielders in the league in Declan Rice. There's also Martín Ødegaard, who is the captain of the team. We'll admit that his 2024-25 season wasn't the best, but we're pretty sure he can get back to his topmost form. And if he does, it's over for all opponents. There are also some really great backup options in the midfield. There's Mikel Merino, who's a hard-working and very technical player who gives Arsenal more options in the air, especially from set pieces. We're not sure what Fabio Vieira's future looks like, but if he remains at Arsenal, he'd be a great backup for Ødegaard. In fact, the competition could really help the captain improve, but even if Vieira doesn't stay, they can easily start giving Ethan Nwaneri more minutes as a 10. That kid is obviously very talented, so play him in the midfield and see what he can produce. And well, that leads us to the attack. On the right, we have the star boy, Bukayo Saka. This guy was really on his way to having an all-timer season in the last campaign, but injuries cut it short. This dude really had 5 goals and 11 assists in the first 12 Premier League games of the season. He could have broken the Premier League assists record if not for the injury, but he's back and we're sure he's hungry to finish what he started last season. If he stays fit throughout the season, he could even end up as the league's player of the season. That's how good he is. And now, with the signing of Madueke, his minutes can be properly managed. Madueke has Premier League experience, so we're sure Arteta can trust him to hold the right wing in some games. But remember, we said that Arsenal have unearthed a new weapon? Well, that weapon is a 15-year-old kid named Max Dowman. That kid is the truth. And the world finally got to see how good he is in the preseason, friendly against Newcastle. Of course, he's still very young and you can't start relying on him yet. But if Arteta is ready to give him his Premier League debut next season, we can see him being important in some games. Now in the center forward position, you already know what it is. It's the masked man. Arsenal have finally gone out and gone a proper traditional number 9, and there's just no way a player like Viktor Gyökeres won't make them much better. If Havertz was able to do a good job and bang in goals playing in that position, heck, even Marino did well at center forward. Surely an out-and-out goal machine like Gyökeres would be incredible. And speaking of Havertz, last season, he was run to the ground until he got injured. That won't have to happen again next season. Then on the left, people say it's Arsenal's weakest position, but it's still pretty strong. Martinelli can be good on his day, Trossard is a great joker to have, and Madueke can also be used on the left. In fact, with Gyökeres now in the team, Havertz can even be employed as a left winger. But what's really interesting is that Arsenal are not even done yet in this transfer window. It's highly likely that there's at least one more big signing coming. They have their eyes on Rodrygo, Rafael Leão, and Eberechi Eze. These guys are ceiling raisers who can take any project to the next level. If Arsenal managed to get 1 or 2, it'd be absolutely scary hours for opponents. We're talking about guys who can make things happen all by themselves. Guys who are good dribblers, ball carriers, and game breakers. They would also completely elevate the left side of Arsenal's attack. Now, which one of these guys do you think Arsenal will sign to make it an incredible transfer window? Also, how do you think Arsenal's 2025-26 season will go? Will they finally win a major trophy again? Which one will it be? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.